Today's video was brought to you by Warner Brothers' Godzilla, King of the Monsters. We need to take turns.
Film, I'm gonna film.
We can take turns. Hey, you guys excited for Godzilla?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
So excited.
Lily, what's your favorite Godzilla?
I like the dinosaur one.
Someone do the YouTube intro.
What's up, guys? We're here at the Godzilla premiere.
So we are going to a private event where they are going to give us food and we get to see a pre-screening or I don't remember, some kind of place. I'm not really good at this.
Yeah.
Vlogging but not showing yourself.
There you go. I am here for the food.
Brad with a crostini with a tomato jam and burrata.
Oh, thank you very much. White wine number 2. Excuse me, that's my wine.
Wait, what? We talked about that you can't use the same content. I want half royalties of this video.
Live footage of Disguised Toast walking to the Godzilla premiere. And here we have Disguised Toast's biggest fan.
Oh, that's Godzilla. Godzilla's coming to life.
Look, he told us where the free stuff was because I didn't know.
Wow, Toast is so smart. Oh my god. Wow. How'd you get this smart? Wow.
What the fuck is going on right now?
I'm extremely happy that you guys are among the first people to ever see this film.
What else is there to say? Get down.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters is in theaters on May 31st, and you can get advance tickets right now using the link in the description below. Enjoy today's video. Toast, please make it draw my life. Toast is one of the most interesting people I watch online. Perhaps his mystery adds to some of his entertainment, but I've been watching some of his older videos and I can't get over all the small info. Alright. Here we go. I was but a young bred all those years ago.
Ha, this guy's toast.
If I'm gonna do like a draw of my life, I probably want like someone who's actually good at doing it. I was born not into poverty or wealth. This is China. And this is Taiwan. I was born here at the ripe age of 0 years old in Taipei. I was born to a family with a daughter, my sister, who's 2 years older than me. When I was 0 years old, my sister was 2 years old. And my brother was 7 years old. My parents did not plan to conceive me, but I wasn't a mistake. I was just a happy accident. Before I was at the age of 1, my family moved from Taiwan to a tiny island off the coast of Malaysia. This is Malaysia, and there was a tiny island here off the west coast of Malaysia called Penang. And we flew there before I was even 1, as my father worked there. I alternated between a Ming school and a white people school. So, I would spend a couple years here, and then a couple years here, and back and forth, which is why I'm able to speak Mandarin. 所以我可以用中文讲话，因为我小时候有去华人学校，然后在马来西亚你可以用英文或中文。So people in Malaysia speaks both English, Chinese, Cantonese, and Malaysian. So it's very helpful. But I also learned English. The problem with English is that when you get taught by, we got a couple of Australians, like Aussies, and they have an Australian accent. You got some American teachers with an American accent. You also got like some British people with a British accent, because Malaysia, for those who don't know, used to be a colony of the Great United Kingdom, which is why there's quite a few Australians and English people there. And there's also just like Asian teachers who speak Chinese. And this is where you're learning English from. Like, it's a hot pot of accents. So the friends you would talk to, the friends you would make, their accents came from all across the world. And I'm just a young, impressionable boy. And as a result, my English growing up had a lot of peculiarities. Like when I say the letter H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Chat will say, hey, H? Why are you saying H? It's H. But it's like, Halloween, not Halloween. So why is it when you pronounce the word H, you don't say H, you say H? That is when I learned that in North America, they teach you some really backward stuff. There's 12 inches to a foot. Why not 10 inches? No. 12 inches in a foot. Because it just makes sense. And don't question it. Why isn't it pronounced H? Like the H sound. Nah. It's pronounced H. H. This is America. H in my area. Also, in Malaysia, an eraser is called rubber. Because, it's a piece of rubbery item. Like if I make a mistake writing with my pencil, and like, hey, can I borrow some rubber? Someone will give me their rubber. But when I came to North America, and I said, hey, you got rubber? People think I'm talking about condoms. Yeah, like slip on that rubber, current deal. Which is not what I wanted. I did not need a condom at the ripe old age of 12 years old. One of the most common words I had trouble pronouncing was the number 3, because I had a hard time working in the H in 3. Like, it was hard for me to pronounce 3, three. So I ended up saying tree, about $3.50 kind of deal. How much was that? $3.50. I need $3. $3. And I think a lot of Asian people will have problem with that. So when they have accents, they say $3. But it's something I consciously worked on. I'm gonna say this number correctly. Every time I got the chance to say that number, it was a challenge. I would like 3 lollipops. Do you want to watch the movie 300? Shrek 3 is about to release in theaters. These are my struggles, chat. But my brother went to school eventually, for university, for college, all the way in the great white north of Canada. And he went by himself. So when it came time for me and my sister to also get education, in Asian culture, the white man's education is the best man education, which is why so many Asian people send their kids to North America. That's the smartest people in the world. I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying that's what people think. So we flew from our tiny island all the way across the world to Canada, in the great state of Ontario, in a small little town called Kingston. It's a college town, home to the university, Queen's University. It's called Queen's University because it's the university of the Queen. Get it? Queen's University and Kingston. It all adds up. When I was in the 9th grade, so the first year of high school, I had a lot of trouble befriending people. So at lunchtime, I would sit in the corner of a hallway and quietly eat my packed lunch. It's usually a sandwich my mom made for me. She would make Asian food, but she's afraid that I would get made fun of because Asian food has some smell. So she would pack like what she thought was white people food. Yeah. Fast forward to grade 11. So in the summer of grade 10, I made a conscious effort to be like, you know what? I should try to make friends, to be more sociable. Make friends and be sociable. So I did Google research on it. Like, how do I carry on a conversation? And one thing is that when someone asks you a question, don't respond with a one-word answer. You should respond and ask them a question. Keep the conversation going. Another thing I also learned in an effort to be more sociable was magic tricks. Because when it comes to magic tricks, you have to talk to people, but you have something to talk about, right? So I learned magic, and I did magic, and I eventually became known as the guy who does magic in my high school. And people will ask to see magic tricks when they see me. And it was essentially, it gave me the taste for performance. Another thing I did in high school was learn how to program. Because I played a lot of video games, and one of my goals was to make video games. This is a PC, by the way. Back there, we had the fat PCs and the fat monitors. So I would learn how to program. And I learned something called Flash. Anyone in high school may have played Flash games in their spare time, like on Newgrounds or addictinggames.com. So I would teach myself how to make Flash game. I started off simple, arrow keys, move an object on screen. Very simple stuff. Miniclip, yeah, that's another one. There was a Miniclip game that really stands out. It was the one where you played as George Bush. And you have to shoot the terrorist. And I think that was one of the more popular games. So I just made a few mini games. And I think this was in grade 10. I got an offer for one of my games I made that I put online of $1,000 for one of my Flash games, and they want to put their logo on it and host it on their website. And my face was, of course, at a ripe old age of, I guess 16 I would be, or 15. Wait. This is supposed to be a pog face. So this got me started on my never-ending journey to make as much money as I can. I don't know why I look like a duck. I spent the first $1,000 I made on a big screen TV for my family. Because I remember them calling me. It's like, hey, we're at the Best Buy and there's a TV we could have for our home. Because we didn't have much money back then. I was like, all right, I made $1,000. That cost $1,000. It writes itself. Oh, frustration game remastered? That's how companies make extra money now. They remaster games, they remaster old consoles. So that's how I became a coder. So when it came time to pick university, I moved from my home in Kingston, Ontario. This is the map of North America. I don't know why I drew the entire map. I moved like 2 hours away. To the School of Waterloo, which was world famous for having the biggest nerds on the continent. Like if someone tells you they graduated from Waterloo and they're applying for a job in either coding or something with money, something with math, you hire them. You might have zero social skills and you smell kind of weird, but I know you'll be able to do good work. Engineering as well, yeah. A lot of my fellow classmates now work at Facebook, Google, Twitch, Microsoft. That's usually where they end up. Tesla. I majored in computer science, which is essentially just coding. And throughout my summers, I would work at companies. And I mainly worked on games and apps. Farmville is part of my resume. Mercedes-Benz is part of my resume. The NFL is part of my resume. The Royal Bank of Canada. So for the Royal Bank of Canada, I just helped design part of their internal website. For the NFL, I worked on their official mobile app. Mercedes-Benz was an app you give car owners to talk to your smart car. This was back when, apps were all the rage. It's like, oh my God, an app that talks to your car? Money! Invest, invest, invest! Working at like the Farmville company was very interesting because it opened your eyes to the money-making world of mobile apps. Oh, by the way, I never dropped out of CS. Yeah, I couldn't do the full program. Computer science was too hard for me. Like I knew how to code apps for a big company, but I never learned the basics. Like I would fail so much questions about big O notation. For those who don't know, big O notation is asking you the efficiency of a program or like some code. Like how efficient? What's the computing time kind of deal? And you're supposed to be able to answer this. I was like, I don't know. I can tell you how to make a sick front end for your app and program it and make API calls. Is that useful? They're like, nah. We're gonna need you to explain to us the exact efficiency of this piece of fictional code. I can't do that. But that front end though. So yeah, I had to drop out of CS. And I went into math. The problem is that I wasn't cut out for 4th level math. This was in my 3rd year, by the way. I did 3rd year math. I did 1st and 2nd year statistics. But 4th year math, like, couldn't do it. So I dropped out of that and got something called a 3-year degree, which is still technically a Bachelor of Mathematics. But the validity of a 3-year degree is questionable. But between getting a 3-year degree and not getting a 3-year degree, I decided, oh, here's my recurring nightmare. Let me tell you what my recurring nightmare is. I've had this nightmare ever since I graduated. I'm failing all my classes and I'm not gonna graduate. Even though I already I don't go to school anymore. But I will have this nightmare. I don't know why. And in this nightmare, I'll be failing a class and I'll think to myself, it's okay. It's okay, Toast, to fail this class. You know, you're not gonna graduate with a full degree anyway. You already hit all your prerequisites for a 3-year degree. You can just... I think I'm just reliving that moment when I finally realized that I wasn't gonna be able to get a 4-year degree and that I had to settle for a 3-year degree. Like this was the moment, like when I was in my 4th year. I just kept having this thought, the same thoughts, like, oh no, I can't pass this class, it's too hard, everything's fucked. I got a 40% on my midterm. I got 20% on the last assignment. It's not possible. Even if I ace my finals at 100%, I just can't do it. It's not possible. And I think to myself, it's okay, I can still get a 3-year degree. Because that was my thought process back then. And since then, even though I'm a streamer now, just last week, I remember this. The same thought. It's like, Toast, you failed this class, but it's okay. You can get the 3-year degree. I remember looking up websites, visa websites. Visa 3-year bachelor. I googled this over and over again. Question mark. And I would research the forums like, can I work in the United States with a 3-year degree? Most of the answers were no. Unless you backed it up with 5 years of work experience kind of deal. So I was like, damn. Do I just work in Canada? Because at that time, by the time I graduated, I had enough stuff on my resume that I was pretty confident about being hired. Because I had a background working for companies and making games, right? But I also wanted to work in the States. Because startup companies or like companies in the SoCal area, they got perks, which is free food. Free food. I got buffet at breakfast, buffet at lunch, buffet at dinner, free shuttles, rent, stipend. Oh boy, this was some very appealing incentives to a newly graduated student. 401k. I don't know what a 401k is, but I'm pretty sure I heard about that. Something about a 401k. So I was just chilling around since I graduated. And that's when Blizzard announced something called Hearthstone. My reaction was like, bleh. Where's my Diablo 4? Who wants to play some card game? Give me Warcraft 4 or Diablo 4. Actually, no, was Diablo 3 even released? But I also did play the original WoW TCG. So I was a little interested, to be fair. My brother was the big card game guy in our family. He played Magic. He dragged me into WoW TC. So when they announced Hearthstone, my brother was like, this. I was like, this. Pretty much whatever game my brother was into, I usually pick it up just to play with him. So he picked up Hearthstone, obviously. He's a big card game guy. And I picked it up alongside him.